B2B marketers, when most companies decide they want to run a survey for content or lead gen, they quickly realize something, and that's that a good survey is actually a lot harder than it looks. Because the goal isn't just to ask questions, the goal is to create findings that journalists want to quote, that prospects want to download, that influencers want to share, and that AI systems actually see as uniquely valuable. You need someone who understands content strategy. You need someone who understands survey methodology, someone who understands media narratives, and someone who knows how to turn raw data into headlines that people actually care about. And this is where I think a lot of survey projects succeed or fail. Most survey researchers are really trained to produce academically sound research, but they're not really into understanding what makes a compelling content asset. On the other side, a lot of content marketers can promote content, but they don't really understand survey design, statistical framing, respondent quality, or how little mistakes in methodology can undermine the credibility of your findings. So I think the magic happens when you combine both skill sets. And that's been the foundation of my career. I'm both a content marketer and a survey researcher. So when I design a survey, I'm not just thinking, will this produce clean data? I'm thinking, will this create headlines that people care about? Will this generate press coverage? Will this support SEO and AI discoverability? Will buyers see themselves in these findings? Will this position the sponsor as a market authority? And so I think that combination is really rare. Before founding Trend Candy, I led the thought leadership team at Qualtrics, which is the largest survey company in the world. So I'm not coming at this as just a marketer who learned surveys. I come from the survey world itself, and I've worked deeply with survey methodology, questionnaire design, respondent quality, segmentation, data storytelling, and large-scale research programs for big brands. Over the years, I've helped produce survey-driven thought leadership for companies like Intercom, Adobe, Cisco, Career Builder, Better Homes and Gardens, going way back, and lots of big brands. And some of these projects became the top performing content asset of the year. One Intercom report, for example, generated over 100,000 of leads for them. Other reports I've done have garnered coverage in places like Forbes, CNBC, Harvard Business Review, Business Insider, and the Wall Street Journal. And here's what I think makes the biggest difference. Most survey vendors stop at data collection. They hand you a spreadsheet and say, good luck, pat on the head. That's not what I do. I help clients identify the right narrative before the survey even launches. I'll reverse engineer your survey questions around what I call dream headlines. In other words, what would make this report impossible for your buyers or your industry to ignore? Then I build the survey strategically to around those headlines. I'm not trying to engineer the outcome, not trying to lead the witness, but by starting with the headlines first, you're more likely to get compelling content at the end. In today's AI-driven content environment, really those sound bites, those original insights, that information gain, it really matters. We're in a world where there's generic content everywhere. AI systems are prioritizing original insights and they're valuing proprietary information. That's what they cite. They cite statistically supported findings, and that's why survey-backed content is so valuable today. It gives your company something genuine and new to say, something original that no one else knows yet. You're making something that competitors can't replicate, and it's something that journalists and influencers and AI increasingly notice. So to wrap that up, I come from both the research side and the content side. And because of that, I'm able to bridge that world in a way that a lot of providers can't. I do a done-for-you survey. I manage every aspect of your survey. That includes the toughest part, which is finding qualified respondents. At the end of the day, this isn't about producing a PDF. It's about helping your company become more visible, more trusted, and more authoritative in a market that's getting noisier every day. So if you've been thinking about creating original survey research for thought leadership, I would love to brainstorm possible ideas with you. There's no pressure, just a conversation about what stories your market is ready to hear and how you can be part of that story. So if you want to book some time with me, you can do that with the link below.